Hello, I'm Scott DuPont with another episode of Finance Your Movie, sharing tips and strategies to help you fund your independent feature, documentary, short film, or web series. Our mission is to empower you to get your money to tell your story. Importance of a mission statement. Almost any successful company or organization especially in terms of revenue, they almost every single one of them will have a mission statement. Let me give you an example that will show how powerful this is from one of the largest corporations in the world that really should have gone out of business, and that's Ford Motor Company. Back in for those of you who don't know this history, to me it's pretty fascinating. In the 60s and 70s, American car manufacturers, obviously they were all made here, most people bought here, they dominated the market. It was very, very rare that you would see any kind of foreign car. I think the first foreign car to hit our shores might have been in the late 60s or something, as a tiny little Honda Civic. And then what started happening in the 70s and 80s and 90s, over those 2 or 3 decades, first it was the Japanese cars, then it was some of the Korean cars, but especially the Japanese cars like Honda, Toyota, and Nissan. They started bringing in really high quality, dependable cars that got much, much better gas mileage. Um, and they were just built better. I mean, point in fact. So what was happening is the American car companies in the 80s and the 90s, their quality it couldn't even compare. That's why literally within 10 years that the whole dynamic changed. And Ford was so bad. If you were going to look for, I forget what one of the Ford comparable, maybe a Ford Galaxy or whatever it was called. I don't know the name of all the cars. But if you were going to look at a Honda Accord, a Toyota Camry, and you placed it up with a similar Ford, it was a no-brainer. You would pay more money. You get a car with worse gas mileage. You'd have you couldn't dispute the maintenance record. It just wasn't even close. So Ford, they brought in a new CEO at the time in the 80s, and he saw that if they continued on the path of building inferior cars that cost a lot more money to build with terrible gas mileage, they could see the writing on the wall. They'd go out of business. So they implemented a quality program, and they had this motto: quality is job one. This was their mission statement. And they shared this with everyone, to the people sweeping the floors at the local dealerships, to the service technicians, the salespeople, all the way to the engineers and the designers and the corporate office up in Detroit, Michigan. And it was powerful because at one point, the acronym for Ford, Ford, stood for Fix or Repair Daily. Ford was the laughing stock. And what's really interesting about this story is fast forward a few years later, 2007, 2008, when the great financial recession hit, you had Chrysler, General Motors, all these big uh, car companies filing for bankruptcy. And a lot of car brands like Hummer, Oldsmobile, they don't even exist anymore. Ford was the only large car manufacturer that did not take a bailout, didn't go through bankruptcy, and emerged as just an unbelievable high quality company, not only here in the US, but all around the world. So it was a real testament to this, creating a mission statement, having everybody in the team embracing this. It wasn't just lip service. It literally made Ford now one of the most profitable corporations in the entire world. So, what is a mission statement? A mission statement's really just a clearly defined goal and a vision that can be embraced by your whole team, your producers, your writer, your director. If you bring on some of the executive producers early on in the process, they should be included as well. So your whole team has a clearly defined vision. Now, for those of you, I'm guessing a lot of you do set goals, or you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. But if you're not, that's okay. I want to just share another quick story why goals are so important. So, back in 1953, a group of independent researchers went to Yale University, one of the top Ivy League universities, and they looked at a group. I believe it was a couple hundred people. I don't know the exact number, but they looked at a select group of graduating students from Yale in 1953. They asked that group how many of that group had clearly defined written goals. And what they found out is 3% did. 97% didn't. Now, if you ask people today if they had goals, it's a higher percentage. It's probably 5 to 7% have very clearly defined written goals that they do every year, but only 3% at the time. So what's fascinating, they went back 20 years later to the surviving class members. This was in 1973, surviving class of 1953, and they found out that they were happier, they were healthier, they had a lower divorce rate. But a lot of the things they found out were a little subjective. But there's one statistic that blew me away. By the way, they had lower cancer rates, so their health was definitely quantitatively better. But this one statistic blew me away. It should blow you away if you haven't heard this. They found out that the 3% 20 years prior that had goals had accumulated more personal financial wealth than the other 97% of the class combined. If that doesn't blow you away, I don't know what. I mean, that just, to me, that cemented me years ago uh, about the importance of goals. And I set goals every year, but I now do them the past 10 years. I now do these mission statements on every one of the films that I'm producing. And you want to write this during the development process, early in your pre-production, if you can't get it all together. But it doesn't have to be a complicated process. I know that when I approach my directors, my different producing partners, sometimes they go, yeah, 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 we'll get to that. But it's not really a priority for them. It's a priority for me. So I usually write out a couple of bullet points, and at every development meeting, when we're first starting to get the ball rolling, I'll say, hey, what do you think about this? And you can do this in a few days. It doesn't have to be a long, complicated process. But if you're the one who kind of owns this and just writes it down, you can every meeting just have them, kind of shape and edit this. It really not that complicated. And let me give you an example on one of my films. I did a documentary years ago called What is the Electric Car? And here's our mission statement that we ended up with. Our mission is to educate and motivate consumers to become electric vehicle owners, which will result in less dependency on a depleting oil supply, a greener planet, and a better future for our children. So everybody at the end of the day eventually signed off on that specific mission statement. In fact, still to this day, I have it up on my wall. I'm looking at it. And what's incredible about a mission statement, there might be other independent film producers that do this. I don't know, but I've been doing this for 10 years. I know most don't. Is it will cement your team with a very, very powerful reason why you're doing the film. Now, you can also, in my most recent documentary film that's not out yet, I also crafted a very specific return on investment goal within that mission statement. Irregardless, your targeted return on investment should be in your business plan anyway. So investors have an idea with what you're shooting for in terms of profit. But it really brings the whole team together. Um, it's very cohesive. Also, If you want to share it with your potential investors or your investors, which I do, they are this is one more little carrot you can dangle in front of a potential investor. Say, "Oh, wow, that's impressive that you have this mission statement." And in our case, a lot of the potential investors we were going to were people that were either driving electric cars or open-minded or excited about electric cars. Said, "Yeah, I want to make money in this film." And that was the primary driver for most of our investors. But a lot of them were also excited about our mission and the fact that we had taken the time to get together the whole team and write it down. That enabled us to get more investors. So this is a great additional tool in your quiver to help get investors, as well as just having a very specific purpose. And I believe in life, in business, but especially with filmmaking, more than any other occupation, you need to have, some goals, this mission, but you also got to have faith. So, we had faith that we could make an impact. And to this day, we're not getting as many because the film's been out a while, but a couple times a month, I'll get a Facebook message, DM. Sometimes I'll get an email saying, "Hey, my name's John, and I just got this brand new Nissan Leaf because of watching your movie. Thank you very much." Um, in fact, a guy that sent me that exact email is a guy named Dave Beltrami in Atlanta, Georgia, and he got a Nissan Leaf a couple years ago. Same thing, um, after he saw our movie. So shout out to Dave there. Um, so just set the wheels in motion early in your development process about this mission statement, and don't worry about all the minutia as you're moving your project forward. Don't worry about how you're going to raise all the money. Don't worry about how you're going to complete the film all the way through post production. Don't worry about how you're going to sell it. Um, what's most important, and this is where a mission statement will keep you on track. The most important thing is the why, because if you have a really powerful reason why you're doing the movie, in addition to hopefully making a lot of money for your investors, that should be one of your primary reasons, of course. But if there's an underlying why, it will, through the whole production, the marketing process, and then once the film is out there, it'll drive you to keep promoting the film. Like I'm still promoting What is the Electric Car, because there's an empowering why to myself and all our team members. So I hope you're seeing that there's a pattern of these podcasts. And it's not just, okay, I'm going to listen to this podcast, and here's a secret tip that if you do this thing and you talk to 5 of these specific investors, talking to 10 people, you'll get a $10,000 check. It's not quite that easy. So what it is it's a pattern. It's a series of small tips, strategies, habits is really the best word that you do. And doing these habits over a time will make you a more successful producer or have you raise money quicker. And I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I hope that in each one of these podcasts, like this one, you'll just take a few notes and say, "Yeah, this really makes sense that we should do um, a mission statement for our film at the appropriate time," and then keep all these notes, not just from me, but what other podcasts, other film festival seminars you listen to. Um, I learn from everybody. As long as the person I'm listening to has done what I want to do, I will listen. I will embrace those strategies, and at the appropriate time, if I go back to my notes or if I have a mental note, at that time I will act. So I hope all of you at the appropriate time, when you're putting together your business plan and you're getting ready to talk to investors, you're kind of, having the car leave the garage, so to speak, on your film making journey. I hope you will create a mission statement. And in case you're wondering, the mission for this community, this brand I am putting out there, finance your movie. My mission, I look on it on my wall every single day. My mission is to inspire and empower over 1,000 people to get their money and tell their story. Thank you for listening, and I hope you're one of those people that takes action and doesn't just listen. Thanks again. Tune in next week, or for more info, visit financeyourmovie.com. Thank you for listening, and remember, if you have a story to tell the world, never give up on your dream. Copyright Nemours Marketing.